like another season to come out, but I guess they're like, yeah, it's coming, don't worry, hold on guys. And I did not check out that other one they had, like I think it was American sort of reality TV version of it, which I'm not sure the full premise was there, but yeah. And it also got me thinking, we should do, this is fucked up, we should have an artist Squid Game, for artists and people that draw or do whatever the fuck. And each contest or challenge or game, whatever the fuck you wanna call it, you have to draw like increasingly exaggerated racist caricatures, right? And you're like, oh my god, no! And everybody's crying and breaking out like it's horrible. It's like, no. It's like, my mom's in the hospital, I have to do it, no. And it's like, man, that's fucked up, man. Mr. Beast, you shouldn't have done that. It's like, no. That's wicked though. Actually, that fucking brings up this other weird hypothetical. Man, this is like really weird, stupid shit. I don't even know why fucking this was like a thing years ago. It was like, what the fuck, like a weird mind experiment. Right, like, okay, what's like people have all sorts of reasons to say no to commissions and like, alright, I won't draw this, I won't draw that. No nudes, no porn, no armor, no necks, whatever the fuck. And then it was like a weird, like, ethical dilemma, right? Because, like, there's even a thing in different fields, like, oh man, you're an engineer, like, and you build drones, like, how does that feel? And it's like, oh, it's kind of fucked up. And it's like, yeah, it sucks, right? Or like, oh, I design or program algorithms for Facebook. I'm like one of the brightest minds in my country, and my job is manufacturing people's misery and like unhealthy mindsets to, incite this or that, do whatever the fuck. But it's like, pays the loans, right? It's like I got a shit ton of debt, and that's the debate people go through sometimes. Is like, oh, it's like worth it for the job, or whatever. And it's like the weird, stupid thought experiment was like, whoa, okay, what if? Stupid as fuck. What if the KKK offered me or somebody else like black like money to like make some like really horrible like propaganda cartoon or some shit, really exaggerated 1950s style type shit, right? Yeah, like, alright, you gotta do this. It's gonna be like fucking 5 minutes. I was like, fuck, man. It's like I don't know what's like the money, right? What's the fucking dollar thing like that? You'd be like, oh well, what the fucking price tag of the whole capitalism experiment is. Like, fuck. Oh wow, they even flagged your fucking. They flagged your message. That's so funny, Brandon. It's the craziest second box things, man. I still haven't seen that movie. I gotta check that out. But it's like I was like, man, yeah, like $1 billion. Here you go, $1 billion, or whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude. If you could figure out a way to like scam them or like some fucking trickery of the fucking state where it's like, alright, this is like, and like 3 layers of like irony or fucking like, not even irony, I don't know. How would you do that in a way that's not gonna actually make people more hateful or something that wouldn't be dangerous? But even then it's like, okay, what the fucking thing is, like your money, you need the money for it, something like that. Okay, like you have this to pay off, that to pay off, hospital bills, this, whatever the fucking thing that would make you justify it. And it's a really weird simulation. I don't know why. I used to fucking throw that around sometimes. It's like, what would you do? Whatever. But, wild stuff, man. And it doesn't have to be KKK, black cartoon, whatever, for whatever your personal preference would be, or like, not fucking preference, that's a horrible way to put it. Personally sensitive things, something that could be used to hurt you or against you, or even just be bad to make, right? And it's like, well, what does that count as, right? And that could be a missile. You're building a missile for this company, I guess, and that's your job. And it's like, well, it's not gonna be used, right? It's like, but it kills people, right? And that's a fucking dumb, like, 3rd fucking grade experiment thought thing, but I don't know. It is like an interesting thing that people do face in the real world, not in like terms of propaganda. Yeah, sometimes propaganda, but not just like outrageously like exaggerated stuff. But like the example I used, but like is what I'm doing in some way, really, that's like ethical consumption, but also ethical manufacturing or ethical this or that. Is it okay for me to use this company to make my pins if I know that company is exploiting XYZ? Like, how do you navigate those things, I guess? And that's like, that's the more polite way to say it, and not just like a shocking like, blah, like, but anyway. And that is like a fucking thing still, like in other extents where it's like, how do you need to, even if you have the luxury to choose what you do and what you work on and where you work and all that stuff, but like when you have the means or ability to produce or make or whatever the fuck else, what's the best way to do it that's like easy on your conscience too, And that could even just be like, even like boycotting stuff too, plays into that, like, right? I know some people were like, oh no, sticker meal, no good, right? Because the CEO, I don't even remember what the specific thing was for the CEO, but it was something that was like, oh, said this or that, or something happened where it was like, not, it was something reasonable to like not want to support that company. And as an individual, like you make posters, you make pins, you make stickers, you make whatever the fuck. That's the cheapest option for you. Like, what do you think, man? And it's like, oh, shit. Sticker meal or the more expensive thing? And how much harm would it be causing? And you can't measure, like, quantify the harm or something like that. You don't know what the full implications are. It's just like, it's interesting, or like a difficult thing sometimes to navigate, where like, sometimes these things fall on like, individuals for responsibility that, man, I don't even want to go into this whole fucking thing, but that's like, man, you should do your best to do things properly, healthily, good for the environment and people around you, and juggle that against your own needs and your own livelihood and other stuff like that. Yeah, that's a good way to sum it up. It's like, alright. And even in terms of like teaching and stuff like that too, I'm almost like going on a fucking weird side tangent, but alright, you want to make like a tutorial, you want to make or sell something that's like for the use of learning, right? Like, the most accessible way to do that would just be open source and free and other things like that, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, just make everything free, right? It's like, shit, I gotta pay rent, or I have this thing to worry about and like stuff. I sort of need this to be a business in some sense, even though my interest is in like, hopefully people using these things or resources or materials to educate themselves and learn from something, but now I'm also grappling with my own livelihood. I used that word already, but yeah, that livelihood. Now you have to sell the thing on Gumroad, Etsy, Red Bull, whatever the fuck, for Dosh. Even though it's like, the kids, man, what about the kids? It's like, yeah, the kids too, but hang it. How do you have it all? And there's compromise. There's things that you can always figure out for yourself. Where it's like, alright, this is a barrier of entry that both provides means for me to sustain myself and continue to do this, and is affordable and accessible to the most amount of people I can while meeting that first need too. Yeah, it's weird. It's like ultimately I'm like, free, it should be free. And it's like, I get that it needs to be like a hustle a little bit too sometimes, but it's like, shit. Cause you see what people can do with like resources that are just open, and it's like, shit, and they just fucking took that and went wild. They're doing more than I could have ever done with something like that, and they just by being like open-minded, curious, and whatever the fuck, and like got into this like thing, animation, whatever, Blender, whatever the fuck it is, that's open source, whatever the hell is out there. Blender's a good example of like open source. That's like, yeah, you got your computer, you got your school thing to use it on, and like, bam, you're off to the races. And that's what I was fucking doing in school, in high school, just dicking around with it. I was like, I don't fucking pay attention, so got Blender and installed it and started like doing tutorials like the old-fashioned teacup thing that was made for that. And it's like, oh, nice. That was a really roundabout way to fucking go from like animating a propaganda cartoon for the KKK into like, excuse me, free education, whatever the fuck. But anyway, I think the overarching like thing was clear. I think, I don't know, maybe not. That's art, I guess. Whatever. Shit, I did that ear wrong. Fuck me. God dang it. Yeah. I'm going so slow too, like this should not be taking me this long, but it's probably also going faster than it would have if I wasn't streaming at all. So, hey, the more you know. Or you didn't know. Fuck you. I feel like it's best when my back is against the wall and it's like literally like, do or die, this has to get done now. It's like, okay. We gotta do it. What were people saying? Oh, Jacob. I hope that's Jacob you. Not Jacob, but like Jacob. I don't want to say the other name, but you know. I could just check your thing. Oh, it's not the Meat Wad icon. Dang it, man. But probably that one anyway. Well, I can't quite sleep, but we're gonna get into this for this. Alright, B-Night, have a good one. Oh, sticker app is like affordable and like good quality, nice. Well, that's just like another one to jot down. I haven't done stickers in forever, but fucking more the merrier. Good shit. I remember Redbubble was like a thing too, but it kind of sucked for reasons, I think. I just put on headphones, could finally hear what's going on. What's this about the KK? God damn it! It was just, I went on this fucking tangent, this roundabout thing. God damn it! I was like, oh man. The KKK offered like money, like a fucking fuckload of money, or how much money or whatever the fuck, to make some horrible like 1950s era like propaganda cartoon for their ideals, right? And then that tied back around to like, it's like really dark for me. That was like an hyperbolic example, but just to like, go on some other tangent about like a balance between the interests of yourself and the interests of those people around you, and what the things that you do and how they impact the society or whatever you're gonna call it. I don't have to deal with now with the gay angsty like that, but you know, society. And that can be in extreme examples like that, like the propaganda cartoon, the KKK or something like that, or making a missile, which is like another easy example for like an engineer doing that or something like that, and or drones, whatever the fuck you wanna use. I'm getting really fucking off topic here. I'm just tweaking things endlessly. You see that? No, you don't. But yeah, renew membership. I think it's time to move on from this a little bit. Maybe both things, this animation and also this topic. But I don't know. But yeah. I don't know, Beanlight, what's putting you on the spot, or anybody in the fucking chat, what's your line for commissions or art or anything like that? And I feel like the obvious and the go-to, you don't have to fucking go to like other weird shit. The obvious go-to for most people I think is nudity, not safe for work stuff is like out of their comfort zone, out of their like personal preference and what they're comfortable making with their art and skill, which is like respectful and fair. It's like everybody has like something that's like, I don't want to do that, and it's uncomfortable for me, or I have reasons personally, like morally, ethically, whatever the fuck, and I'm not down. I made a sinister play like a thought thing, like, where's the wine, how do you dance it? And the usual answers are money. Oh, that's what this was. This started because I was talking about Squid Game. That's what the fuck this came from, yeah. Squid Game, watch it. And I was thinking about that too, because then I was like, oh yeah, you know, some people are like, wow, you know, people saw Squid Game and bought Squid Game shirts and like costumes and stuff, how tone deaf and whatnot. And it's like, I don't feel like I can't crap on people. Not that it's like, not that there may be some level of dissonance there, I guess, if you want to be like that. But like, I think people can like get the show or the message of it and still participate in consumer culture, or at least like, I wouldn't place the blame on the individual specifically, and I think it's possible to both understand and appreciate the show and also say, I want a cool fucking shirt or the fuck. And no, I don't own Squid Game merch, so it's not me fucking projecting or some shit, but I was just like, it's a weird thing. But and maybe that's another angle of it where it's like, well, it's not necessarily like, that's what it plays with too, is like how maybe not accountability, but maybe in some sense, yeah. Man, it's so fucking, I can't even break it down and just like, well, it's like you're accountable for participating or not participating, or because circumstances are always like beyond your control in some aspects, and that's like a fucking difficult thing. Whoa, heavy. No, but yeah, I don't know. Buy shirts, do whatever. But, and that also made me jump over. This is very fucking scatterbrained, but made me jump back to what's his fucking face? That guy with the white hair. Andy Warhol, that's his fucking name. That's good water. The Warhol's stuff with has it only been streaming for 32 minutes? What the fuck? No way. Okay, it's like, that's wrong. What was it? God damn it. Oh, Warhol, that's right. Warhol's, I have a limited understanding about Warhol's stuff too. I'm not gonna pretend posture, but I guess the thing with his like Brillo soapbox and all that stuff, that like, at least how I saw it or understood it, was like, it's the purpose was like blurring the line between like commercial art and like art or fine art or anything like that. Like, okay, and that's an interesting thing for me too, because I always wonder, like, in some ways, like, oh man, I'm making shows for, or not making shows, but I work on things like for networks or what the fuck. Is this art? Is something that I made for this Disney thing or this Cartoon Network thing really art? Would you consider it that or anything like that? And then back to the Warhol thing, it's like, well, why the fuck not? Kind of, but it's like, where does that stop and end? What is like something, what qualifies as art? What does it mean? You know, that whole fucking thing. It's like, whatever that means to you is different depending on the person, depending on the time, how they experience or interpret something. So, alright, this fucking Transformers cartoon was made to sell toys, you know, it's like, it made, it left an emotional impact on people in that generation and was like very significant for them. So even though it's completely commercial and completely just a product selling thing, it's art because, you know, hey, it did what art does. You know, people with maybe different experience or something like that. And so why not? Why not a fucking Tide soap pod package thing or whatever the fuck, I guess. Like, why not just something that's like, fuck it, you know? That made something, that made me feel something. That is art. I cried in the fucking aisle when I saw the Bounty logo or something like that, and it's like, okay. That's not art, that's fucking bullshit, that's a product. It's like, and guess what? The Brillo fucking soap thing sold for $250,000 or whatever, fucking this fine arts gallery space that respects itself in such, or reveres itself in such a like capacity that's only for this. And it's like, I don't think those people are stupid. I don't think art collectors are just like dumb, like, oh yeah, we're all like, yeah, okay. Like I think they get it, but at the same time, they're also participating in the machine and keeping it running. And then this just went through the machine, and it's kind of like spitting in the face of like everything of the whole institution itself and like that like economy around it. It's like, oh, collector culture, art, and all this other stuff, and it's like, well, shit. Okay. That is art then, and it does have a fucking statement that's making. And that's fucking that is a statement. Whatever, you don't have to shy away from sincerity. Ivan, fuck you. Yeah, it is making a statement. I thought that was really interesting. It is like a fuck you, and it is also like a nice. I took away from it like feeling good about what I'm doing more because like, okay, yeah, this may not be utilizing the same. It may not be utilizing as wide of a tool set as certain other art mediums and other art forms to express certain things. Like even this fucking thing I'm doing is a fucking expression, I guess, but it's like maybe it doesn't have the full range, as wide of a range or spectrum as other art forms like fine art and other shit like that. But it's still art, and that's still valid, and that's still enough. And if a fucking Brillo soap box or whatever the fuck is art, what is it? You know, it's like, alright, yeah. It's calming, it was nourishing, it was felt like, okay, you know, you don't have to dismiss your own form of art or expression because it's maybe doesn't meet, it doesn't, maybe it doesn't, you don't feel like it does as much as it, you know what it is, it's like, I keep using this thing like language barrier, or it's like a filter, it's filtered through like a form of expression that doesn't fully capture what I'm feeling sometimes. And that goes with anything, like even language is like limited in how much you can like convey or communicate with like how your thoughts are, what you're feeling and everything like that. And that's frustrating sometimes, and I get like a lot of like I guess it's like anxiety sometimes about what I'm saying. Sometimes I say it and doing it again. I get anxiety sometimes about the things I say and how they come across because I want to make sure it's like properly like, oh, they heard what I said, they know what I meant, and like, so I'll pick my words carefully sometimes, especially if I'm writing, but like, even then it's like, goes through one ear, it goes through their filtered brain of their own experience in life, and it's like, well, they understood that as it, they understood what I said as it is understood by them. That's what they're saying it, but, you know, language is art too, and you can call that poetry, but also in like the utilitarian aspect of it, it's just like, oh, how are you doing? And it's like, oh, okay, that's good, but like, how do you polish that? How do you refine that? And it's like, you know, the simple ways you can say something, even just as a function of like, oh, I need you to do this. It's like, how do I say that in a way that's like, that's gonna make it feel like, it's gonna feel what I'm, you know, I don't need to fucking elaborate. This fucking should make sense. I hope. See, I don't know, right? That's the whole fucking turnaround, right? You don't know if the signals you're sending are being received properly, and that is isolating, but also connecting in a lot of ways, because like, you understand me as much as I understand you, and all I want you to understand is that I love you. Wow. But yeah, it's like getting things across sometimes is hard. And that's why poems are fun too. Because like, you can be creative with it, you can use metaphors, you can use other shit to like say something. And it's like funny because I was talking with somebody about this recently, I was like, yeah man, I'd like talking in the language of poetry. I'm not really doing that right now, I'm not saying that, but like, it was just nice to meet someone who shared that feeling of like, I like speaking like this because it's a wider range, or it's like, it gives me more of an ability to like share my thoughts and feelings. Like, you can make a fucking metaphor that just immediately captures what you're fucking thinking and feeling. Like, oh man, I fucking like, I don't know. It's like you're like a tiger in a cage that doesn't even pace around anymore. It's like, oh, depression. He feels no meaning or will to live. And it's like, yes. Snap those fingers, man. Anyway, rambling. Oh yeah, the Bitcoin Squid Game thing. There was a lot of those things that popped up and just like went. It's still insane to me that whole stadium, the Staples Center is like still renamed like the Crypto Center or the Bitcoin Center or some shit like that, and it's like that just feels wrong. Like, not that Staples, that's even weirder. That Staples feels like a cultural like touchstone to me, where it's like, oh, the Staples Center, yes, the good brand. But now Bitcoin's like, no, this is like sacrilege, but whatever. Yeah, the fucking Totodile, exactly. That's it. That's fucking art. And you can't frame that. Well, you did frame that, Nina, but it's like, even that picture of that picture, or that picture of the fucking billboard of that moment has so much meaning, and it says all the stuff that's like, bam. And you shared that with me, and I'm like, oh wow, I see that photo, and I know this means like, la la la, all the stuff to, you know, because it's like, the background to it, right? And it's like, oh man, life is art. It's all art. It's all beauty. And that is cool. Because it's like, yeah, it can be anything. It can be a fucking Pokemon card with Totodile. And a photo of a Pokemon card with Totodile. I think some of that too is like that anxiety about, I mentioned earlier about not just communication, but in this medium of art, like cartoony animation, commercial art, that's like fucking what I like to say, is like, maybe coming from adolescence too, like, especially fucking, not to, this isn't like shitting on Newgrounds, but just like in the teen years and when I was on the site and stuff like that, like, very much like, nah, don't take anything seriously, like don't be like, you know, serious and trying hard to like actually say something or do something. And I feel like this is so funny because like I feel that feeling. I've met other people that feel that feeling, older than I am, younger than I am, and it feels like it's just been a thing that people just feel with like their fucking, how they, when they grow up, is just like, yeah, I had the fucking period where I was like, I feel things, and now I'm like, alright, yeah, I feel things, but it's dumb to feel things, so yeah, fucking whatever. But then it's like, nah, I'm feeling ways about stuff right now, and I want to say that, and I don't care if it's cringe or whatever the fuck, you know, which is cool. Maybe that's just growing up and stuff. 20s, man, that's the second puberty, you know. I actually want to explain that even more. In my head, I have this whole fucking system, right? Fuck. It's taking me too long. I can get some water real quick. Okay, 20s. Second puberty, right? You're not an adult. You don't got nothing to forget. Your brain's a fucking noodle, and it's barely even like boiled or soft, and it's not al dente yet. You know, you gotta prime it some more. 30s, at least I think. 30s is like, yeah, you're a fucking adult now. You got your fucking shit, and you worry about, you know, career. You're worried about security, getting a house, probably. I'm thinking, yeah, something like that, you know. Like, overcoming those obstacles and everything to get to that point, and being like, all right, we gotta lock this shit down, man. Like, no more freewheeling it. But maybe not. Who knows? And then 40s, dude, that's where it's at, man. The 40s is what I'm looking forward to so much. It's like, that's when you're like a fucking real human being completely. Like, you're already an adult, but you've like, you got it, man. Like, you've overcome your fucking existential dread. You've frackled it. You got your career down. You got your fucking everything down. It's like, you still face problems and issues, of course. Yes, this is always a thing. But you're just like, ha, outrageous. You know, you shrug it off. Or you're not shrug it off, but you're like, you got it, man. You got all the tools in your fucking belt to fucking take care of shit. And just like, yes, we are here. And that's like the prime of your life, man. Also, 20s and 40s are the sexiest years of your life. So you get two hot waves where it's like, you get the fucking young hotness in the 20s and shit like that. And then in your 40s, you get the fucking like, that's when the salt and pepper comes in, you know? Like the fucking gray hairs and shit like that. And it's like, the slight crow's feet and like just a little bit of sag and droop, and it's like, oh man, like it's fucking so hot. That's crazy. Anyway. And then 50s. I think 50s are... 50s, if you play your cards right, that's just like you embracing, you're feeling the golden years coming up, right? Where you're like, oh man, this is gonna be I'm feeling like nostalgic for the past and future. No, not even the past. No, you're soaking it in. You're nostalgic for the present moment from the future. Where like this moment that I'm in right now is nostalgic, and it's happening. It's not even an old memory. It's just like this is just my fucking life, and it's beautiful, you know. And that's like, yeah, you're writing it out. That's 50s, I think. But if you don't play your cards right and you fuck it up, and you don't overcome like the fear of like your own mortality, midlife crisis, like it's all gonna go fall apart. It's fucked, man. So be careful. And then after that, you're just like free roam it basically. It's like 60s and 70s, whatever. It's like fine. Man, anyway, that's philosophy class. I gotta catch up. I also found our discussions dumb. The definition is so up in the air that people call anything art maybe someone with religion. Yeah, no, that's it. It's like, alright, well, what's art? It's like, oh, fucking anything, basically. It's like, well, yeah. And I feel like people sort of draw the lines in some sense where it's like, this isn't art, that's art, or like this. And I used to feel like that about myself and other shit. And I was like, well, this isn't really art. It's not doing anything. It's just selling shit. It's like, fuck it. It's all crap. It's all crap. And it's not crap. So it's like, fucking, alright, boom. So the definition I like to go by is the first sentence in every word because when it's requires form of communication, somebody should say something that's different. This definition should be up in the air and left in basis. Yes. Now that's a good way of putting it, like a form of communication. Yeah. See, I'm trying to like dissect that even further. Ooh. But like, alright. There's things that aren't man-made or just artificial. Are still art. Nature's art. Space is art. Life is art, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the boundaries are. That's the thing. That's like the boundaries. It's boundaryless. Art is boundaryless. It's just like, it can be and is everything sometimes and nothing too. Anyway. I don't trust that. I know, I just type. I'm not saying that. I wasn't saying the 40s are like, oh man, we're there now. No. Picture this being like, like we're still us, you're still you, and I'm still me. But we're gonna be making like Shakespearean like cock jokes instead, you know? We'll just be on that level of like, whimsy and merriment. It's gonna be great. It'll be so cool. 40s, man. That's where it's at. You know, I didn't plan some of this out. I was just kind of feeling it. This animation, I mean. And also this whole discussion. Yeah. Anything. I feel like an interaction with people can be art in a sense. Like a conversation. Which, art of conversation, right? Like, just talking to people sometimes is like, it's like an intimate experience. Like, even with strangers where I'm just like, I just met this guy, I'm never gonna meet him again, but I'm like, God damn it, Akshay, you were the fucking coolest dude in those 30 minutes we hung out. And I remember this experience, and I'm glad you were there to create it and share it, and that's cool.
I don't know how to tell you this, but
Man, this is fucked.
I got one way. Maybe this will work. You just gotta listen closely to me. I need you.
You know what I like too? Weird one, but like, I like some people that do art in their own, almost completely influenced, almost, like, right, but like uninfluenced by outside factors. Like, I forgot what they call that. Maybe it's just outside art or some shit like that, I think, probably. look up, but they don't teach themselves. They're not taught. They're not taught like traditionally, or by books, or by like conventional methods of like, here's how you paint, here's how you do this. They're just fucking doing it. They're freewheeling it. I love that word. They're freewheeling it, and they're just like going for it and like figuring out like, oh, I don't know, I'm just gonna fucking do this shit. And it's like, it's the weirdest shit you've ever seen, because it's like, this isn't even human, man. This is like extraterrestrial at some point, where it feels like, oh man, it's fucking runny nose. It feels just like very, very personal, very, very esoteric, because it's like, I could have never thought of that. I'm too tainted, or like, I'm too impure by the things that around me that are influenced me. The commercials I watch, the shows and music and everything I listen to is like playing into stuff. But you, and I'm sure they have that stuff too, but it's like so, it's so isolated in many other ways. In the way that it was like, as a formative craft for them, it was very isolated. It wasn't like being like, I'm looking at this guy's art and I want to take a little bit of that, and a little bit of this. It was just like, no, I'm literally just in the mud with my hands, and we made God or something, I don't know. And I'm like, what does it mean? He's like, I don't fucking, he doesn't want to talk to you. He's just like shy. Okay. I try to give him a blanket, but he's not taking it. It's impure. The blanket is impure too. It's like, it's all wrong. And most people don't usually live normal lives. That's another thing too. Or sometimes they do. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Maybe that's impressionistic stuff too. You don't have to label it. It's like whatever. But like, yeah, stuff that's just like completely like that. And impressionistic stuff is something even I could do now, but I can't do the other thing, which is like art without training or other stuff, because it's like you've already trained yourself in these like things. But I love seeing it. It's cool to see. This guy lives in the trash and the sewers, but man, he can make some wild sculptures. That's so cool. I wish I could find one. I actually have one bookmark that would be cool to look at for sure. But I already wasted so much time looking for that picture of Joe Biden. It would be a waste of time to try to find that bookmark of this outsider artist. Oh, this is like slowing down like crazy. Oh gosh. Where was I going with outsider? Oh, this hoodie's too hot. I forgot. Wait, what is that? What did you say? Oh, they don't do it anymore? Oh, they live in the woods. That's fucking cool. Nice. I'm also happy to hear about the beans and you live up to your name too, Bean White. Hawk living. That sounds rad though. Oof. God damn it. Oh fuck. Oof. You know what the problem is too? I say a lot of these references for like hands and all this other stuff, and I never like organize it or put it in a place I can look at it. Cause I'm like, I have a Discord server that's just, you know, everybody fucking does it. It's like just the things you want to send to yourself. But I don't organize it or like pull it up when I need it. So I'm like trying to sort through a bunch of memes and I'm laughing my head off at privately. And then also a bunch of references and the cool things I want to try to do, or imitate. Good job. There's a good program for that actually. It's called PureRef, and you just basically slap everything on like a pasteboard and lay them out and organize them for whatever you need. So I should actually pull it up later. I'll do it later. But it's solid. Also, you know what? I'm promoting shit for no reason. If you guys ever have like, you save like WebPs, you know, like those fucking formats that can't be opened by anything but browsers for whatever reason, because web stuff. There's a good WebP image viewer which is called a QView, and it just plays WebPs, animated WebPs. You can also do PNGs in there if you want by default, but it's like, it just instantly opens it up and it's like boom. Don't have to worry about opening Chrome or this or that or anything else for it. It's just like nice and all on the desktop. But yeah, QView. It's good, it's good. And I went out of my way to look for that too, because I know people were like, man, it sucks that Newgrounds is using fucking WebPs now to store stuff, and like, and I hear that where I'm like, yeah, this isn't easy to use and doesn't work on phones, but then I also hear the other side where it's like, this is so much like lighter on storage and like loads way faster, it's like more efficient, like fuck man. I'm like, oh okay. And you know what? 5-minute Google search, there's a fucking thing that does it, so sweet. Oh, QV, yeah. Wait, let me just find a link or some shit. Dang it, man. Ah, here we go. This is it. Oh yeah, this is the stuff. So I hope this is the right one. There you go. Man, it's getting fucking hot. And I was so cold earlier. Ooh. Burp. Yeah. Ooh. Right. No, wrong. It's not right. Okay. Trying something new here. You no problem, being late. Oof. I was doing the laugh from that fucking Street Fighter clap cartoon. I can't remember what the quote was, right? Some guy was talking about them all being like homosexual or something crass. And they're all just like giggling at each other, like laughing at the table, like friends do. Holy fuck. Man. Oh man. Frick. This feels more like a fucking marshmallow than it does like a cookie. Got to learn folds again. Part of me also just wants to watch Squid Game again, or more. I was also watching Mr. and Mrs. Smith recently. I've been watching like a lot of new shows lately. Like I've watched a lot, or I had stuff that I was watching and then they finished, and then I was like, oops, nothing left. Like this Barry, which is really good. Barry. And Better Call Saul too. which I rewatched recently, and then I started watching Breaking Bad. Then I stopped watching Breaking Bad. Also, that's because a friend was like, "Dude, you gotta watch it." I've been rewatching. I was like, "Fuck, man, I gotta do it too." And it's like whiplash going from like the end of Saul into like the start of Breaking Bad. Crazy, right? They need to do a third show. I was thinking the third one, like it, because they didn't do the Huel one, like they should have, which would have been like a Tyler Perry sitcom, whatever. But they should do like a fucking they do like the Skewiverse or whatever the fuck it is, like what's his fucking name? God damn it. It's like Kevin James, right? They do like Jay and Silent Bob, except it's Badger and Skinny Pete. And then it's a whole series of movies. Straight to DVD video. I had to read it. Yeah, real faster. This is so fucking slow. That would be awesome. That's my fucking idea. Anyway. I'm gonna skip to the episode. Last episode. Fuck no, man. Oh my god, if you did that for Saul, I would kill you. Oh shit, I shouldn't even say that on stream, but you know. Whoops. Don't worry, being like, you're safe. Wink. But nah, seriously, Saul's like sacred to me. I'm like, fuck man. Such a good show. Great show. Amazing show. It's like when you're showing somebody something and they don't care, they're just like barely watching, like, yeah. It's like whatever. It's like, fucking watch it. It's so good. Please pay attention to this part. Oh man. What's the last thing you guys tried to show somebody that was like that, where it was just like, they just weren't into it or didn't care, or were just like, but it's like your fucking thing, you love it. You're like, oh man, alright. I remember I tried showing my family Spider-Verse when it came out, and they all fell asleep, and I was like, oh man, dang it. Frick, man. But that was the last time. I don't know how to do Space Crushed up. Oh, that's right. Alright, we're playing the same songs over and over at this point. Hold on. Give me a second. Quite. Honeycomb, here we come. They put Honeycomb on Spotify for the rules also. Konosuba light novels. That I fucking heard of, I think. Oh, you tried showing somebody it and they were like, bleh, whatever. Don't care, not a big deal. You're like, this is my soul that I just gave you, actually. Do you understand, sir? Ew, this is gross. They don't like reading. Oh, that's fair. Oh, dude. That was like one of the only things I had on my bucket list last year was like read a book. Finish like one fucking book. And as you can tell, you know what I mean? But I picked like the Metamorphosis, the Franz Kafka book. It's the fucking shortest thing ever, as it turns out, and I didn't even fucking finish it. But I was liking it when I was reading. I was like, oh wow. But like, I need to set time, or like a schedule to be like, all right, we're gonna sit down, and we're gonna read the book, and just sit there and read. And that's that. But I got trouble with that. I did find an audiobook for that Jenna McCarthy, I think autobiography you call it, right? Where it's like, I'm glad my mom died, which is like about her experience and just her whole life basically, and like up through iCarly, everything on the show, everything with her mom and all stuff like that, which is like, people say is really, really good. I still gotta get through a few more episodes, keep tracking on that. But yeah, I feel like I'm cheating doing audiobooks, but it's reading, listening, communicating words. A thing like that. Apparently it's free on Spotify too. If you have Spotify, I think paid. Wait, prefer watching anime. Oh yeah. You gotta watch it. Dang man. I'm trying to go to bed earlier, but I might be up watching Squid Game anyway. But it's been it's been about 2 hours. That's okay. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by the stream, everybody. Whoever's here and anything like that. But I guess I'll pop off and we cut it off here. But yeah, good night. Bye bye. See you later. Adios. Sayonara. I don't know how to say that. Bye.